Hey, this is Chris with Hook, Line, and Paddle. I'm going to be doing a 160-mile, 7-day kayaking trip on the New River for a charity, Paddling for Pennies, that supports first responders and veterans. This is going to be a series of videos of the packing and the prepping, what you need to do to get ready to go on a trip like this. I'm going to be taking a 14.5-foot Dagger Stratos 14.5L. That's going to be in a later video of like why I chose that boat and how we're going to load it and what's going to go on it. So, but right now we're going to start with the clothes I'm going to take. So we're going to be doing this trip first week of June of 2024. So been checking the weather lately, and historically it's been running about low to mid 70s during the day and mid 50s at night. So we're leaving from Boone, North Carolina. We're going to end our trip in Foster Falls, Virginia, doing about 25 miles a day. So when you think about a trip like this, like, yeah, it's June, it's summertime, kids are getting out of school, it's nice and warm out, but at night it's going to get cold. So we almost have to think about spring and summer stuff to bring with us. And we're going to be kayaking for 6 days. So it's going to be, pretty confined in the boat, along with food and tent and all the camping equipment we're going to need. So I'm going to give a quick breakdown of what I'm taking and what I'm going to bring and why I'm going to take it. So the first thing, because we're going to be out there during the day paddling, I got a couple NRS silk weight hoodies. So they're SPF 50, super light, super breathable, long sleeve. We got a hood, so I can protect the back of my neck, protect my arms. So really nice, lightweight. It's going to keep me cool while I'm on the water, silk weight hoodie. So I'm taking 2 of these. At night when we get to camp, if it starts to cool a little bit, I'm going to take their long sleeve guide shirt. Again, this is SPF 50. This is going to be a backup shirt for me if one of these gets messed up on that trip. So this is probably going to be when we get to camp and it starts to cool off. I'm going to slip into this shirt, take the chill off a little bit. While I'm paddling during the day, I'm taking 2 pairs of their NRS guide shorts. So super soft, super comfortable, stretchy, quick drying. So paddling these it's going to be a pleasure. And what I'm going to do is taking 2 pairs. What I'll most likely do is I'll alternate a pair of shorts and a silk weight hoodie every day, kind of every other day. Kind of let one set kind of air out and dry a little bit. Put on and going to flip back and forth. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a 14.5-foot Dagger Stratos sea kayak. So I'm not going to have a ton of space, to bring 4 or 5 pairs of shorts, 4 or 5 pairs of shorts. So I'm going to have to alternate a little bit. Definitely at night it's going to be cool. So what I think is going to be my main layer is their lightweight hoodie. So this is a nice fleece-lined hoodie. This will be nice to take the chill off. If it does get really chilly at night, I am going to bring my packable down jacket. This gets real small. I mean, if you're an ultralight backpacker, let's call this like your luxury item. But I'm going to bring this in case we have a real cool night or it's really cold early in the morning when we're getting up, kind of breaking down camp and doing breakfast. This might be a nice little asset to have. While I'm around camp, I'll have probably either a pair of sandals or a second pair of Astral water shoes, most likely probably some low yaks. So I'm going to bring 2 pairs of thin hiking socks to keep my feet warm at night around camp. And what I am going to do if it does get cold is I'm going to take a thin long pair of hiking pants. So just, again, keep that chill off at night while we're kind of hanging around camp. And then if it gets bad enough, good old NRS pom-pom beanie, my official sleep-in hat when I go camping. So this guy's coming along with me. Definitely on the river during the day. There's going to be a lot of sun, so obviously we're going to have bug spray. We're going to have sunscreen. Those essentials. I kind of think that's a block we all check no matter what. And I'm not going to go into talking about it. I am going to bring my Tilly hat. It gives good coverage all around, so it'll protect my ears. It'll give me some shade from the sun with my sunglasses, and then again the back's long enough. It should give me some protection with the sun to include the hood on the lightweight silk weight shirt from NRS. Just to kind of protect myself. It's, paddling trips like that, it's easy to forget about sunscreen or reapplying because you're making your miles every day. So, and I'm pretty bad about remembering sunscreen. So I do take some extra steps to make sure I don't get a sunburn 2 days in and got to deal with it for another 5 days. It's miserable. So this is essentially the clothing I'm taking. I'm going to alternate this stuff. I'll wear those pants every night. It's no big deal. Again, it's confined space, confined area to pack in. So what we're going to do is we'll wrap this part up, and then I want to talk about the camping gear I'm taking, the tent, sleep pad, all that, why I chose it, and how it's going to integrate into my system in the kayak. So we'll kind of move this clothes out of the way, and we'll repick the video up, and go through that camping equipment. So let's move on to cooking and shelter. So we're lucky that this is a charity event, and we're gonna have a huge support staff along with us. So they're gonna be providing us breakfast and dinner. So we're gonna be responsible for lunch. That's gonna be an upcoming video on the lunches I chose, the snacks I'm gonna bring, how I'm gonna break them down, how I'm gonna pack them. I'm gonna do a whole video on that. But I am gonna want coffee in the morning. So to keep things simple, I'm gonna use the Transgia Transgia Triangle. The Spirit burner drops right in. It's a little breezy. This is the Toaks titanium windscreen, just to wrap around it. Fuel bottle, of course, for eating. I'm sure they're going to have utensils, but I am going to bring my Toaks long handle spoon, my spork, and my knife. These guys are from Sea to Summit. So, combining two companies together, you get a nice long handle spoon for getting deep in the pot, or if you're eating out of a freeze-dried meal bag, or just having a regular size utensil, the spork or the knife. Just a nice little addition to it. So the pot I'm using is the Toaks Titanium 1100. I chose this for two reasons. One, it fits nicely on top of the Transgia Triangle. I have a 700 milliliter pot. It slides into it. Doesn't stay on the pot stand. So the 1100 is going to be the one I'm taking. But the nice thing too is for nesting, I have GSI's camp mug, and inside the GSI camp mug, I have a little pot gripper. It's from silicone pot gripper, and I also have the GSI's Vortex pour over. So I can heat that water up, I can do my pour over coffee, and I'm good to go. And everything nests together. Again, space is at a premium in the kayak, so keeping things simple. That right in the 1100 pot, right on top. And then of course this guy goes into its orange bag. So that's going to be, so really I just need a way to boil water so I can make some coffee in the morning. That's kind of what I'm going for. So on to shelter. So I decided for this trip I was going to get a new tent. So I went to Outdoor Vitals and I got their 40th one-person tent. Now this is a trekking pole tent. So since we're kayaking, I want to take my trekking poles with me. So what I did was I got their bundle. So what you get is carbon fiber poles that'll come in lieu of your trekking poles. These are super small. They're going to be easy to pack into the kayak. It also came with a footprint, and you got your 6 tent pegs. So I'm going to tie in the end of this video this tent setup, and I'm going to make a really strong suggestion that this is a new to me tent. I haven't put this tent up yet. So I am going to put this tent up a few times before I go on this trip because I want to know how to do it. I don't want to be caught in a rainstorm and try to get this tent up and I'm miserable and I'm tired and I can't figure it out. I can either do it in the backyard, or if I need more space, I can go to one of the local parks, set it up a couple times, get familiar with how it works, and go from there. And if we are going to get some rain, which 7 days in the river, it's going to rain one day. I'm also bringing my 3x3 DD tarp. This comes with 4 pegs, 4 guy lines. I think for around $10, you get another 6 guy lines and 6 pegs. So you can do some different setups. This gives you 19 tie outs. And then I also have a ridge line with 4 Persic loops on it. So I can use that as a toggle. So I toggle or a soft shackle so I can get my tarp nice and tight. I'd rather be able to put my tarp up if it's raining and then put my tent up under the tarp. One, I'm dry. My tent's dry. And in the morning, all I have to do is worry about a wet tarp and not a wet, gross tent. And it's the main reason why I chose this is it's a trekking pole tent. I'm not dealing with longer tent poles where it's going to take up room in the boat, and I can actually squish this down even smaller because it's kind of a single wall deal going on. I can make it smaller for packing in a dry bag, for packing in the kayak. So that was kind of the choice on this. Watched a lot of videos. The owner of that company, Tyson has a ton of great videos. I've watched the video on how to set this up. The directions that came with it were really good. So I'm going to take the video plus the written directions, get intimate on how to get this set it up well, get a nice pitch to it, get good at it, and go from there. The DD tarp, it's just nice to have a tarp. It's not big. Again, this is the way DD packages it. I fold it up nice to put it back in the bag, but you can't make it even smaller or even stuff it. So, clothing, and then this is going to be just making my coffee in the morning, and this is how I'm going to sleep. I'm also going to have a 55-degree top quilt with me, which I don't have yet, but that's coming. And to kind of tie everything together for comfort, along with that top quilt, I'm going to use the Outdoor Vitals 1/8" mini cell foam sleeping pad to get a little bit of more insulation. And then I have their long insulated mummy for my inflatable sleeping mat. And then on top of that, their inflatable pillow. So nice, warm, comfortable after a long day of paddling is what I'm going for. So that's going to conclude it for this video. I'm going to tie in at the end with a little exit on getting the tent set up so you can see that system. So stay tuned for that. That's going to happen real quick. So we have the tent set up now. It was really easy. Again, the video from Outdoor Vitals was super helpful. And then the paper directions just helped finish off really easy. So this is the 40th one-person tent. I got the vestibule tucked away. Obviously, it's going to come out, give your gear some protection. But just so we can kind of see the whole thing that's going on, I went ahead and tucked away the vestibule. So tent set up, and again, it's a trekking pole tent, but I got their bundle kit. So it came with a 125 centimeter and a 118 centimeter carbon fiber pole. So the 118 centimeters go to the back of the tent. The 125 centimeters comes to the front of the tent. Nice, easy door to open. Zippers are super smooth, which is awesome. Super light, pitched really well. It's nice and taut. Of course, you can always tweak with the tent a little bit to get it better. That's just kind of at camp as it's up for a bit. If it wants to sag, you can fix that, but very simple to do. So inside, and this is what I'm going to be sleeping with, I'm going to be using anti-gravity gears, 55-degree down top quilt. Under it, I have the long insulated mummy from Outdoor Vitals, and just to make sure I get a little bit extra R value, I have their 1/8" foam mat under. So we have so again, to kind of recap, we have the footprint of the tent is underneath it. You know, obviously can't see it because the tent's on top of it. And then we have the 1/8" mini cell foam sleeping pad, the long insulated mummy, and from anti-gravity gear, the 55-degree top quilt. So this is going to be my sleeping setup for the 7 days we're on the river. You'll see how we're going to pack all this back up in another video, and how we're going to then load everything into the kayak. So this concludes this video. Stay tuned. There'll be a few more, and we're really working on helping everyone figure out how to do a multi-day trip on the river. Again, this trip is for Paddling for Pennies. It's charity for first responders and military and veterans. So we're doing this trip from the 3rd to the 9th of June of 2024. So if you catch this video before we do this trip, if you'd like to donate, go to their website, paddlingforpennies.org. This is the Paddling for the Profs. Again, June 3rd to June 9th. If you can donate, we'd really appreciate it. If you can't, completely fine. But what I really hope is everyone takes away from these videos that it's not that hard to plan a multi-day trip and how to pack for it. And you'd be surprised how little gear you need, and with the right gear you can get by and be extremely comfortable. So stay tuned for some follow-on videos. Wear your life jacket, always be safe on the water, and if you can, check out paddlingforpennies.org. Great organization. If you can donate, we'd appreciate it. If you can't, no worries.